still finna get these videos out because I got 2 things that I want to talk to y'all about. So we kind of gonna do a twofer with this. Of course, y'all know I got me some notes. Part 1 of this video is gonna be the truth about shrooms and addiction, and the second part of this is gonna be what to do if you actually start tweaking the fuck out. So let's do this. I broke this down into like 5 good bullet points. Addiction and shrooms is really not a thing for a number of reasons. I just feel like a person who really did shrooms before, who's had like a full experience, you know, and when I say full experience, I mean like the mental aspect, the emotional aspect, visuals, everything like that. You've had desirable moments, you've had undesirable moments, and everything like that. I don't think that's something that you could just be addicted to. Like, if you do shrooms and you have a real nigga seminar with yourself and you get yourself together, you're not gonna want to tell yourself about yourself all the time. Like, that's not an all the time type of thing. Like, okay, fuck, you just told me about myself like a week ago. Why do I need to hear about myself again? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, no 2 trips is the same. So no, it's not to say that you would have the exact same trip. But what if you ain't done working on what you got to work on from your first real nigga seminar, and you have another one, and you like, here we are again. We're finna talk about the same shit because you ain't did no work since the last time we did these bitches, and here we are again at the same spot again. That's my brief little tangent. I just don't think it logically makes sense, right? If you go somewhere and you get your ass beat, you gonna go back to that place. You like, nah, I want my redemption. I need a round 2. Okay, bet. You get your ass whooped the fuck again. You gonna keep going back to get your ass whooped? Probably not, right? That's kind of how I view shrooms and addiction, right? Bullet point number 1. When you have real nigga seminars with yourself, you need a break from that. No 2 trips are the same. Your mind sets the tone. You just got to be conscious about doing them in general. More likely to funnel your decisions and reflect first, okay? That's my first bullet point. Let's unpack that because I got to put a lot in that first bullet point. Okay, number 1, when you have real nigga seminars with yourself, you need a break from that. Real nigga seminars are cool with your homies and shit like that, but imagine a real nigga seminar where you check yourself about your own ignorances, about where you falling short, where you fucking up at, where you playing yourself at, and you really just gather yourself, like you just yoke yourself up on some stop playing with me type of shit. Why would you want to do that all the time? I don't see that being a thing, right? And so for me, when we talking about addiction and we talking about shrooms, I really just don't see that as real. I don't see that as reasonable. Even people who struggle with their mental health and things like that, I don't see them intentionally beating themselves up to that extent all the time. I just don't see it. That's not something that people chase. People chase a high that just had them lit, had them turned up. Same reason why people drink all the time. No 2 trips are the same. I know I told y'all that. I did a whole video on no 2 trips being the same. The first time you do shrooms and the second time you do shrooms, you're a completely different person. Whether it's a week apart, 2 days apart, you're not the same. Your mind space is not in the same place. You're somewhere else. Given that first part, you know what I mean? Too many real nigga seminars is overwhelming. But then on top of that, no 2 trips are the same. So what if your first trip wasn't shit? It was at like a level 7, right? But then you do them again, and you like, oh, this is level 5. I'm not feeling it today. I probably shouldn't have did these shrooms. So now you had a 5 and a 7. And now you like, how you feeling after that 5? You gonna want to run it back? Are you? Be honest. You know, a lot of people be like, if I had a 7 and I went to a 5 from a 7, I don't really know how much more likely I would be unless I'm just in a super good ass headspace. I'm happy as fuck. Shit's going right. Then yeah, I'm gonna do some shrooms because it's gonna amplify what's already inside. And if what's already inside is a 10, then goddamn take it up there. You know what I'm saying? Take it the fuck up. And that's what kind of lead me into my next point. Your mind sets the tone. So if your mind is good, you good. And it make you conscious about doing them in general. So even if before you was doing them on some reckless shit, and now you like, nah, I had a 7 and a 5, and then I was feeling good as hell. I had a 10. How I'm really feeling? Like, it really starts you to like funnel your decision making process, your thought process. Like, okay, am I in an optimal spot to do this right now? Am I on some fucking shit? Am I on some YOLO shit? You're going to start making more informed decisions, even with that little bit right there, and that's going to trickle into other things. So I just feel like people who do shrooms regularly, you're not going to get addicted to that. You're going to be like, is this a good decision? Maybe I should wait. Yeah, I'm probably going to wait. I got an event coming up. Maybe I'll do them when I go to that, right? So it starts this, in my mind, it starts this healthy funneling process that I much prefer. And it's just like, if that's what you get addicted to, a healthy funneling process, and you're doing that sober, Yeah, it's not an addiction if you're sober and you keep doing it and you making good choices. Like, that's not, addiction has never been described as that. But if you become addicted to making good decisions while you're sober, and it start from you just doing shrooms a couple of times and evaluating if you're in the right space to even do them again, yeah, that's a point for the other side. My second bullet point, because I told you I was giving y'all 5, my second bullet point is that it is possible to develop a tolerance. And when you develop a tolerance, you just need more in order to feel the effects. So there's 2 things with that. The same way how people who smoke weed, they be like, I can smoke a blunt and I can be straight. But then you got some people like,
man, I can smoke a whole 3-5 and I don't feel nothing. I really got to smoke like 4-5 grams, then I'm going to start feeling something.
And it's like when you do shrooms, you can build a tolerance way more quickly with that than you could with weed. So it's like, I don't really see people wanting to spend a whole bunch of money just to be tripping. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then they would be more likely to revert to acid or something that's just a little more hard-hitting at a lower quantity, because it will give them the feeling and the sensation that they're looking for without spending a whole bunch more money, but then you transfer it into a different psychedelic. Which again, I think acid would be a good setup for that, because you really only doing like a super small amount, and you still getting that real intense effect. You getting that feeling that you want. So, you know, that works. But then also too, kind of piggybacking off of the first point, like doing them so often, it's like, how many different states of mind are you taking a gamble with? It's like the more you need, you kind of become turned off to it. And it's honestly the reason why people space out their trip. Developing a tolerance is very easy. So people, especially people like me, because I have a natural tolerance, I keep telling y'all that a natural tolerance is a real thing. For somebody like me, I don't do shrooms all the time. And honestly, this whole year, I'm going to keep track of how often I do them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to guarantee that I'm going to keep track of the amount that I do every time. I'm going to try to make a conscious effort, but I'm going to at least write down in my calendar, like, okay, I did shrooms this day. I did shrooms this day. And I can go back and say, okay, you know, the month of January I did shrooms this many times and blah, blah, whatever. So that I could really give y'all like a accurate scope of what my timelines look like, the gaps in between, and things of that nature. However, small spoiler, I do kind of want to do more activities where I'm testing functionality, so that may increase the frequency at which I do them. I do have events planned out where like things that I want to try, things that I want to do this upcoming year. So yeah, we gonna start with that, but that may increase the number just a little bit, but yeah, we gonna see how that go. Okay, third thing, it's not something you do every day to trip. You do not do shrooms every day to trip. If you want to trip every day, you probably need to switch over to acid. If y'all don't know the story of Albert Hoffman, I'm gonna give y'all a quick little breakdown. Albert Hoffman is the scientist who created LSD. He made it on accident. He was trying to make heart medication, and they was testing it on like animals and stuff, and it wasn't really going too well. And on his 25th try, that's kind of where he made LSD on accident. He got a little bit of the substance on his skin, it absorbed, he touched his eye, and boom, he started tripping. He did acid every day for the rest of his life. He tripped the rest of his life. He never overdosed. That's why that's the only way that people know that you can't die from doing acid, because Albert Hoffman tripped every single day for the rest of his life until he died. That's also where Bicycle Day came from. So if y'all don't know about that, y'all need to go look that up. We talking about tripping and shit like that. I don't think shrooms is what you want to do every single day. I don't know people who got enough money to just sit around and do shrooms every single day, because shrooms ain't cheap and they add up. So yeah, there's that. Now, if you were to do shrooms every day and you were to microdose, I could see that. But even microdosing every day, a microdosing schedule is typically like 3 days on, 4 days off, or 4 days on, 3 days off type of deal. So even that is not an everyday thing. If you're thinking about trying to take them every day and probably want to switch to acid, I don't think you want to take acid every day, because acid is not cheap either. So yeah, there's that. Now, moving on to point number 4. I don't believe that anybody's a happy person all the time. Like, we have times where we're like, you know what, today just not it. Like, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I feel exhausted, I'm kind of burnt out. You know, my kids getting on my daggone nerves. You know, work is blowing my mood. You know, my biggest hater is my car. You know, normal human stuff. Just like, yeah, I don't know somebody who just happy all the time. And so it's like, even if you are happy all the time, like that doesn't guarantee you that you're gonna have an immaculate trip every single time just because you're mostly happy. And then on top of that, I think if somebody was to tell me that they was happy all the time, I probably wouldn't believe them because I would think they fake it. The way life be snatching some people up and up out of here, it's like, I don't think nobody happy all the time. You could be happy majority of the time. You could just be a more, you know, high-spirited person, but high-spirited enough to do shrooms every day, I don't think that's feasible. And if it is, I would love to meet a person like that because I know they energy through the roof. Vibe is probably ridiculous, and I need some of them good jujus in my life. So, you know, it's like when we talking about addiction and we talking about shrooms, I don't see it. It's not something that, in my experience, is just, it's not, I just don't see that. Maybe I'm having a small mind on that. Maybe I need to, you know, expand the realm of possibility because anything is really possible. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, I just don't see that. Last but not least, talking about addiction, the thing with shrooms is that shrooms is used to help with a lot of other addictions. So psychedelics in general, I know I gave y'all a video where I talked about it. Psychedelics, for example, alcoholism, opiate addictions, a lot of people who are in rehabilitation centers for using harsher and heavier drugs. If shrooms and acid is helping reverse addictions like alcoholism and opiate addiction and, you know, all of that stuff, I don't see how you could be addicted to a cure. Not to say that it is 100% of a cure, but it is so impactful with addictions to harsher things. And it's like, the savior of other addictions is another drug. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. Now, one thing I will say a question that came up that really made me think is like, if a person is allergic to mushrooms, but they eat a psychedelic one, would they have an allergic reaction? It's like, that's kind of interesting. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because, I mean, you can't really get off of those substances that shrooms are good for if you're allergic to mushrooms, but do psychedelic mushrooms have the same properties in them that will cause an allergic reaction to somebody who's allergic to mushrooms? That, I don't know. So, if I ever meet Paul Stamets, we're going to have to find that out. Find us somebody who's allergic to mushrooms and give them a psychedelic and have an EpiPen on standby or something, because I need to figure that out. Like Joe Rogan or one of them they're gonna have to tap in on that. This has been my video on addiction and psychedelic mushrooms. I am definitely gonna be bringing y'all more videos while I'm on the go, while I'm traveling. I have made an agreement to myself to just practice more discipline, so I'm trying to implement that. I usually like to be at home in front of the camera, comfy with my blanket and my notes and giving y'all videos. But at the end of the day, the point is that I want to increase my consistency, and as I'm learning, I want to give y'all the information that I'm picking up as I'm picking it up. I like taking breaks in between because it definitely gives me a little bit of rest time, because this is quite, you know, it is time consuming, but I like doing it. So with that being said, I think I want to come up with a schedule, and for this season 2 of Boomies with CK, I want to give y'all a lot more interactive things. I want to give y'all a lot more opinions and exposure to experiences that I'm having, and really just bringing y'all more inside. I feel like season 1, I gave y'all a lot of information, a lot of resources. I gave y'all a lot of background knowledge, the preliminaries that I was experiencing. You know, I gave y'all that. I want to give y'all what I'm getting right now too. But this, I want to just take it up a notch. I already planned out how I want to take it up a notch. And I got a lot of good stuff coming. So if y'all not following me on Instagram, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. If y'all not following me on TikTok, make sure y'all follow me on TikTok, because I have started taking mushroom conversations there as well. There is a large mushroom community on TikTok, and child, I love that it's coming full circle with all 3 platforms. I really wish Facebook was a place where I could just you know, spill all the beans and up the experiences, but it's kind of hard to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna just give y'all the proof in the pudding and give y'all the results. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out.